Hey guys, Level Up here. Today we're going to be doing the keynote video, so to speak, and we're not going to be doing like an Apple style deal where we're going to actually unveil new products or things that we have in the works. Well, there will be some things we have in the works, but the main idea is to kind of document the channel's progress so that we can look back at it later on down the line and kind of see what's happened. That kind of sounds like being overly hopeful, but you never can tell. And one of the biggest things going on is the Battlefield 4 release. In fact, I'm going to be standing in line at the GameStop till midnight so that I can get it. It's going to unfortunately be out for 2 whole hours on the Western Seaboard before I can get access to it, just because it's a midnight release everywhere, I believe. So it's going to be fun, but also an enormous pain in the rear. I think that I will probably have Deathbringer decided that he needed to get his elbow cut up so that he can't hardly play the game. I'm gonna hopefully have some stuff up by, I don't know, 7 or 8 or 9-ish Tuesday morning, so that I can kind of hit the rush of people before school and whatever. It's going to be rather interesting trying to figure out the process. It's going to suck because I'm only going to be able to play it for like 5 hours or so straight, and then I'm going to have to stop and do some editing. It's going to be pretty darn wild. Right at first, we're going to be doing I'm going to be doing a live commentary type thing to kind of get things going. So Battlefield 4 releases October 29th in the US and the 31st in Europe. Sorry, you European people, but footage will be uploaded on a media website upon request for other YouTubers, meaning that if you are in Europe or another area where the game isn't coming out yet, you can send me a private message or a comment or something, and I will get something figured out as far as a method of getting you footage so that you can use it for your YouTube. There will be plenty of Battlefield 4 footage to keep you occupied until it releases in your area on the channel. There's going to be a 48-hour gap, and that's going to be tiring for anybody that has to wait that long. I haven't really ever had to experience it, but I know that it must be an enormous headache for anybody that has to wait 48 hours after it's released to play the game, because then they go on YouTube and they're reminded that everybody else is already playing it. So I was actually aggravated in the reverse order for the beta. It came out like a day earlier in Europe than it did in the US, so I was kind of upset about that, but it also ended later, so it was kind of like the Achilles heel of the beta was that the timing was a little off. And I can't wait to show you what we have coming for Battlefield 4, and we have other things coming up as well. One of those is the OnPointGaming website. I've been thinking about starting one to kind of be used as a tool for the entire video game community, not necessarily anyone that even watches me or Deathbringer on YouTube. It just can be kind of a place where people can come and share their opinions on video games and weapons inside of those games and whatnot. Now, obviously, the weapon thing is going to be primarily consistent of weapons in Battlefield 4. I don't want to play Call of Duty because I don't like Call of Duty games, so there you go. It's going to be interesting, but it should consist of video game walkthroughs and reviews, links to my videos and reviews, weapon stats and reviews for Battlefield 4, a smart sign-up system to ensure a child-friendly environment, as well as a language filter to ensure that it is appropriate, I guess. Parental controls to allow access to certain games. You will have to put in the age so that we can keep track of what games they should and shouldn't be looking at. And it will have a very simple yet productive user interface that will be pretty darn cool to look at, but should also be very productive. So we're going to look at the channel views. I have dug up the average channel views versus what we have so far. Week 1 to 2 is typically about 15 views for the average YouTube channel. In those first 2 weeks, we got a little over 30, so that was already pretty good. Now, week 2 to 3 and 3, week 2 to 3 and 4, I didn't put 4 on there, but those weeks would typically have an accumulative 30-ish, 20-something-ish views, I think it is, and we had little under 60, so we were already doing good. And then after that, weeks 1 and 2 in October typically have about 42-ish views. We were up to just over 225 views, and week 3 just under 300 views, and the average is just now getting up to 75. So I think that we're doing pretty well. I also want to look at a viewer interaction chart. Now, the biggest section of interaction is comments. There's a pretty decent amount of comments that come in, especially for such a new channel. The second biggest area is the transition to social media, meaning transitioning from the channel to the Twitter and Facebook pages. You can see that there's a measly 0% of dislikes. Likes is up there pretty good, that's the yellow area. Twitter and Facebook interactions is only at 9%, and messages are down there at 9% as well. But that's to be expected because the private messaging thing never really takes off. So we're going to have videos made for devices used every day, meaning that it is going to support mobile versions of YouTube as well as the PC and other versions of YouTube to ensure that you can watch it on the go if necessary. And Battlefield 4 is going to be made easy with the OnPoint Gaming editing team and a native resolution support. What the native resolution support means is that the average HD TV, gosh, is 1080p, 1080p or 1080i. So we're going to have video resolutions up to 1080p. Sometimes even going up to 1440 if I've had an excellent day of editing. I can if I've had an excellent day of gameplay, that means I have enough time to convert the file to get a larger resolution than 1080. But the game is going to be in 720 on the PS3, and it will transition over to 1080 on the PlayStation 4. So that is the native resolution support in video editing by the OnPoint Gaming team. So in the end, the progress has been slow but better than average. I wouldn't expect it to rocket ship accelerate past what it is already, but hopefully we can kind of get some things sorted out as Battlefield 4 comes around. The beta was a good booster of the views, and I would hope to see that the actual launch is an even bigger boost, especially since people in Europe aren't going to be getting the game right away. There's going to be a lot of YouTube searching for as much Battlefield 4 content as possible. Again, I would expect live commentary, live reaction style videos right at first, and eventually that will kind of fade into in-depth reviews and tactics. So, I'm Level Up here at OnPoint Gaming, OnPoint Tactical. Have a good one, and take it easy.